Hey Nick, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing great. Well, we're here today. The speaking topic was dare to be different. So, and if I think that's a perfect explanation for Veronica Figueroa. So, why don't you tell us just a little bit about your backstory in real estate and how you got to this point where you're at?
Oh my gosh, there's so much to tell. I'll try to summarize it as quickly as possible so we can get to the good stuff.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I think when people see what we've accomplished, they think, it was luck. But what a lot of people don't know that this is 18 years in the making. I've been licensed for 21 years now, but 18 years full-time grinding and just trying to, make it as a real estate agent. I got my license right out of college. Just went to real estate school because a friend told me to go with them because they just needed either to cheat off of me or wanted me to give them the answers to the test. I just graduated. They thought I was kind of smart.
Yeah.
I had no desire to do real estate. I have a background in human resources. I've always loved developing people. I've always loved placing people in jobs. So that's what I did for the hospitality industry. And I grew up in, I was around the hospitality industry. So that was my passion. I wanted to be in HR. I was doing benefits, recruiting for a company, and that was my passion. But I did get my real estate license because there was this whole idea that if you get your real estate license and you do timeshare, you're going to get rich.
Right.
And
Right.
that was my friend's whole pitch. It was the worst pitch ever. I was like, dude, I'm just going to go to keep you company. But I got it and I did nothing with it for about 3.5 years. But I did get some sales training in the timeshare industry because I actually recruited. I was a HR recruiter for the timeshare company. And it taught me a lot. I thought salespeople were like vicious. They were like they were relentless. But what I learned from them was, the art of persuasion and the art of, just mastering the script. I'll get to that in a second, but that's how I got my license. And then in 2004, I went through a divorce and, I had 2 small kids and I was like, oh my God, how am I going to supplement my income? And I remembered I had a real estate license and I was like, you know what, let me do this timeshare thing part-time. Epic fail. Hated it at the beginning, hated it at the end. But again, you just appreciate the journey, right? And then I said, started just every baby shower, every family event. I was like, you know what? I'm getting into real estate. You need to buy a house for me. You need to buy a house for me. And, that's how it really all started. And I was going to do it part-time. My part-time, I became real good, real quick. I learned that I could convince people to use me really quickly. And I just made sure I didn't miss a baby shower or any kid baseball game. And everybody knew I was a realtor at the time because I was hungry. I was going, I had to keep my kids in private school and I wanted to make sure I still gave them a good living. So I got busy really quickly and I found myself hiding underneath the desk, talking, with clients and hiding from my boss. And I had to make a decision. My first real month that popped off, I think I had three or four closings or something like that. And it was a really good month that piled up. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm rich. I was like, I could do this. And, I wasn't rich. Now I look back, but it gave me the confidence to say, what if I go all in? What if I do this full time and go all in? And when I called my mom and I said, I'm going to quit my full-time job, I'm going to do real estate full time. She said, are you crazy? You're going to give up your guaranteed pay. You went to college. You need benefits for the kids. You need insurance. I was like, Mom, if I dedicate 40 hours a week that I'm giving to this employer, to my business, I'll pay for my own insurance. I got this. That was in March of 2005. Was when I made that decision. And here I am, 2022. I think I made a good decision. There have been many, many highs and lows, but it was the decision I did, which you and I both know the term. I decided to burn the boats. I decided to go all in. I decided to make it happen. And, I went from the evolution of a real estate agent to, figuring it out, surviving and figuring it out during the market crash to becoming a top agent in our market. And the story from there unravels to where we're at today, which we can talk a little bit more about that. But in a nutshell, that's how it all started, you know. And I'm a mother now of 5 because I married my husband who had 3 children. So I got 3 bonus kids along the way. And then we built a business together. So.
Absolutely. And, you know, I'll never forget when Tony introduced himself, how he did, but, you know, Tony, but, you know, I think it's also, sometimes it can be daunting with somebody who has as big a brand as you do. When someone takes a look and it says, I want to build a brand like Veronica. You know, I actually, fun fact, my house that we have now is about 2 minutes from Veronica's office. So every day I drive by, I see her face on the side of the van, Veronica Figueroa. So, you know, I think sometimes when you take a look at it to where you're at now, some people may think like, how do I create a brand like Veronica did? And, you know, what we like to say is when times get tough, people go to the brand they trust. And right now the market's in some tough times. So I think branding is so important. So for the people out there that want to build that Veronica Figueroa brand, where are some ways they can get started or some success principles they should be following?
Absolutely. Listen, guys, you know, we today have become a heavy lead generation machine. And now the brand that I have is that I can go to these big conglomerates and they trust us that we're going to get it done for them. And, you know, they if there's an exclusive lead source, they're calling us because they know we're going to close and we're converters. But before that, the brand was what we did in our community, belly to belly, elbow to elbow. I mean, I say this, my dreams were big, but my budget was small. So I had to do really big things at a small, but with a small budget, but with a big punch. So I ask you, as you're doing your business strategy for next year, 2023 is already here. By the way, if you're thinking that you still have time to plan 2023, I'm here to be optimistic and say yes, but you should already be acting as if you are in 2023. Okay, because Q1 is here. What you're writing today is closing in Q1, right? So you have time to adjust and look at your business strategy right now. What major community events are you participating in? What 4 major community events are you participating in? 1 a quarter, right? What are you doing in the community you live, or the community you want to farm, or the community that you have the price points that you want? What are you doing? If you don't have something on your calendar right now for 2023, for each quarter that you're going to participate, I want you to commit to doing so right after this call. There are so many community events that you can do. It is how I built my business. We did 4 major community events every year in our small little town. And those events, people thought we put them on. We were not even putting them on, but we were able to leverage the relationship with the community, with the people who were hosting them. And I can tell you the names of the events that we did. We did Avalon Aglow. Avalon Aglow is the Christmas event. We would host a tent that had either Candyland or the Grinch or Santa's sleigh or a mailbox for kids to write letters to Santa. We would collect the emails of the parents so that the parents could get the actual letter mailed to the house, but we needed to collect their address and their email. And mind you, we live in Orlando, Florida, but right next to Orlando, Florida is a place called Christmas, Florida. So we would drive to the local post office at Christmas, Florida, and we would send the letter that the kid wrote, okay, to with the response from Santa and stamp it Christmas, Florida. Okay, that's to the extreme. Big dream, small budget. Okay. Big dream, small budget. It was only 30 minutes away from my house, but I can make it happen and I can change this child's Christmas. Think about the power of that. I had more people send us referrals because how we made their kids feel at that booth. The second one was absolutely Avalon. It was spring. It was like jumping into the spring season. Those booths cost me less than $25 to register. So you have all these little community events you could register for cheap, right? Now it cost me a little bit more to spruce them up because I'm big vision. Everything I do is go big or go home. Okay. So whatever the theme was for that particular event, I wanted strategically to be placed in a specific location. At the time, I owned a Remax office, so I would bring out the Remax hot air balloon. I no longer bring out the hot air balloon, but everything we do with intention. So I would partner with a local restaurant that was from that same community. And big dreams, small budget, I'd bring out a cornhole, okay? Branded cornhole, host multiple games. Guess what I gave to the adults? Free beer if they got it in. They had to do at least they had to get it in 3 times to get the free beer. The free beer ticket was for a keg that I bought with the local restaurant that said, I'm going to bring you people. I'm going to pay for the keg. And then your job is to upsell them on a pizza or this or that. Okay. So I'm going to bring you clients. How, what is the best time? What's the peak hours? I'm also going to give away at the 4th of July, I'm going to give away 6,000 glasses where the kids can see like they're looking through a little kaleidoscope. Okay, you had all these little kids walking around this entire parade with our glasses, with our logos. But what did I do? I'm all about connections. I would go to the local businesses and say, hey, listen, I got spots on my glasses. I'm gonna have about 6,000 little kids running around here and parents enjoying the fireworks. I'm gonna have your logo on the side and rip off a little coupon that they can redeem, not the day of, but afterwards, because I want them to come to your business afterwards, okay? What do you think those businesses did for me? They were my biggest ambassador. When they had a client that they wanted, that they knew was buying or selling, guess who they would refer them to? To the neighborhood crazy lady who put on the, who gave away the best goodies and who was big dreams on a small budget. Okay. And that is where I'm telling you guys, as you guys start thinking about what you're going to do to get belly to belly, to farm, to own the market, to dominate, to be the brand. We became the brand that people trusted. We were the community pillar and no one wanted to miss our booths. 4th of July, I'm raffling up a TV. I'm giving something away. But how did they know? Every single home woke up to a flag with a ticket to redeem on the 4th of July, to redeem at our booth, to pick up the glasses. So everything is about giving something without expecting something in return, but letting people know, if you're going to sell or buy, you're probably going to think about me. Maybe we should call that lady who not only does all the cool community events, but also has a lot of signs in the yard too. She might know what she's doing here and there. So I challenge you, what do you have on your calendar that you can plan, and be intentional in 2023 that will put you in front of more people? Shake hands, kiss babies. That was what I was, like a politician. Okay. That's all I do is shake hands and kiss babies. And these booths, it was exhausting. It was tiring, but I did it. Guess what? I did it for 8 years consecutively. I saw so many agents try it. They'd come in, they dabble, they try to get the booth where we were at to, but you know, one thing they couldn't do, they couldn't play the consistency game. Because if they didn't get the result that they wanted the first time, they'd never show up again. For me, it was never a problem that they showed up to the booths, that they showed up to the event, because I knew they weren't going to show up the next time. Because I will outwork my competition. I will outwork them to the point that they get either exhausted or they quit. Not because I want them to, it's just my stamina just keeps on going. And most give up when they don't get the exact result. So how do you measure these events and these community events that you do? Well, you got to get them into your database. You got to continue to invite them to stuff. You got to, the same way you met them is how you should continue to communicate with them. Hey, there's another community event. Did you know that we're doing Movie Under the Stars today? We're going to be hosting, I don't know, Up, the new cute movie, and we're hosting popcorns, and bring the kids out. And as a community pillar, you know, and your local real estate agent, we just love to invite our community, because that's what we do. That is how I built my brand. That is how we started, and we ended up dominating in a community that I was the new kid on the block. I was told there's a girl who already dominates. I said, she better move over because there's a new sheriff in town because I'm hungry and I got 5 kids now. And there should be enough for everybody. Well, she ended up coming to work for me eventually, just to say that. But I say that with gratitude and humility, and say, like, don't let anyone tell you that a market belongs to someone. Find out what they're not doing and go do that. Watch what they're doing and maybe do where they have a gap, right? Where there's a gap and an opportunity. What is that? For me, I was young. I had kids. She was older. She didn't have kids. So I was at everything that families were around. So for me, I want you guys to just think about these community events. If you really are thinking about building a brand, what do people say about you other than that you're just another local real estate agent? How are you going to stand out? The 5Ks, we couldn't afford to sponsor. What I would do every morning, every time that we had a 5K, we'd wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and do the balloon arch for the 5K. I was trading my sweat equity for the ability to host the DJ stand, the ability to say that we're the 5K starting lineup sponsor. So I was willing to trade my hustle for the opportunity to share my heart with the community. And there are kids today that are now grown. There's like, you were the Remax lady. You were the lady. Yeah. You were that real estate lady. I have kids today. I call them kids, but now they're older, who went to high school with my son and middle school with my daughter. And now they're on my team. They're like, Miss Veronica, we saw you when we were growing up. You were the real estate lady who everybody knew. And that's what you have to do when you're building a brand. Everybody needs to know who you are. Everyone from the nail salon lady to the real estate agents in your community, to the HOA person, to the developer, to the community leaders, the business owners. Who knows you? Most importantly, why don't they know you? What do you need to do to make sure that they know you? And I would go to businesses and I would say, where's an opportunity for them? If they were slow, I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm going to promote your business and I'm going to bring my clients here. You know, what's the slowest time for you? Because I don't want to send them business when they're busy. I want to send them business when they're slow. Or if I saw they had dingy menus because they don't know marketing. Now today, there's a lot more technology, guys, but a lot of people don't have marketing skills. So now it's easy for me to be like, hey, I'm going to come and do a preview of your restaurant. I'm going to share it with all my people. I'm going to make sure that everybody knows you're the best place in town to go. Some are great business owners, but they're not good marketers. Okay. So everything I would do when you're looking at what you could be doing in this up and coming market, where relationships matter more than anything, is who can you go help? What business can you go help? What kind of brand do you want to build? I built the brand on a reputation of being a community pillar. And to this day, I know agents who have watched what we did and they say, V, we're doing the same thing. And I'm so proud of them because they now have become the community pillar or the community mayor in their community. And that led me to becoming a team leader, a leader, and business was just overflowing. And then from there, I was able to scale. Okay. Then I said, okay, well, if people are searching online, if you're not only going to see me in the community, now I'm going to put a little bit of money, right? I'm going to fuel my business and scale it. And they couldn't help now see me in the community. And now I was all over Zillow, Realtor.com, you name it. I also had a social media presence that, you know, whether it was probably bootleg. I mean, I look back at some of my old marketing, I'm like, wow, that was shitty. It was so bad, but it was consistent.
You know, I think we could drop the mic right now, Veronica, and just be able to have that and be able to run with it. Like you said, the 4 events in the next 4 quarters are really important. And just some key things that I believe that you said in there. One of the first being leveraging the events and what's already happening in the community. We don't have to go out there and create our own thing. Leverage what's already out there. And on top of that too, it's not a scarcity mindset where if you see another agent trying to do what you're doing, it's the abundance mindset of saying, hey, I'm going to win in the long game. So, you know, especially for right now, you know, I hear a lot of agents out there that are struggling to differentiate themselves. The community events can be once a quarter. What are some other ways that they can differentiate themselves, whether it's through their branding, through how they reach out, their social media presence right now?
I think that's it's a hard question to answer, because there's no, to me, right or wrong way. I think you need to do first what feels authentic to you, right? I think authenticity is key. Anything that you do, and anything, as I see a question coming in. Yes, I was hungry. Anything that you do, if it doesn't feel authentic and in alignment with you, it's going to bomb. It might work for a little bit, but you're not going to be consistent with it. So whatever method that you decide to use, listen, whether you're a person that say, maybe you don't have a bubbly personality. Maybe you're not an extrovert. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm one of those, introverts. I'm struggling, but I love, real estate, and I'm gonna do this. I'm struggling with getting in front of the camera. There's a lot of ways that you could do videos with, now with TikTok and how people are like, to me, some of them, my favorite ones are the ones where people don't talk, where they're just like pointing. I'm like, oh, that's cute. Like, or they have a nice, cute background, but they're giving value. They're giving quick value. So listen, start a community page, start a community Facebook page, especially if you're a person who doesn't feel comfortable with, door knocking or prospecting. Maybe you could be, if you got a green thumb. I had an agent who came to me, she was like, what do I do? I was like, you should be like the plant lady. You should start the community plant, like how to care for plants. Where do people have plants? They have plants in their homes and in their gardens and in their yards. And most of them either live in the house because they're renting, so that means they're a potential buyer in the future, or they live in the house because they own it. That means they're a potential seller. And you are going to be the lady who gives tips on how to take care of your plants. And you are in a community where there's thousands of people, and you want to join people and say, hey, DIY, learn how to care for your plants. These are the best plants, right? That is authentic to her because it's what she loves to do. So tip number 2 is, what is it that you're passionate about that is easy for you to share and express and help, that isn't so real estate-y, isn't so like icky in like, I'm another real estate agent down the block. You have to be in order to stand out, what makes you different? Your authenticity makes you different. So start a community page. Your video game has to exist, but you have multiple ways on how it can exist, whether it's you talking, whether it's you making, pointing to the topics that you want to get people to see, whether it's you doing just community updates and tours of where to eat in the community, your favorite places to go in the community, why people are moving to this community. So things that you're passionate about have to be a part of the formula. For me, I don't know, people know I'm passionate about women empowerment and inspiring people and talking about how to break through mental challenges. It is authentic for me because I've gone through my own journey of depression. I've gone through my own journey of being a woman in business. And also, I was raised by a drill sergeant. So I was wired to just achieve. And that came with some mental, like some challenges. So it's not hard for me to be vulnerable and say, hey guys, I struggle with depression. I struggle with mental health. I've had to overcome certain things. I get more business from just showing up and talking about real life shit than interest rates. You haven't seen me post anything about interest rates, but what you do see me do is talk about my journey, talk about my weight loss journey. I get more people say, hey, you inspire me. And by the way, I know you sell real estate, selling my house. So what is it that you're authentic, that you are so passionate about, that it will come across authentic? That is when you start realizing that 95% of the people who aren't in the market to buy or sell right now. It's only the 5%. So what you're saying to them when you're just talking about a bunch of real estate is want. That's all you're saying to them. But what can you say to them the 95% of the time when they're not buying and selling real estate? Hey, date night, where to go? Hey, a 5K. Hey, working on your health. Hey, interior design, things that, I don't know, move you.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do in your social media marketing. In my opinion, of course, you sprinkle a little real estate in, sprinkle it in, dabble it in. You ask anybody who knows me, they're like, yeah. The real estate lady, she's crazy, right? But most of my content is not about just real estate. And I think it's really important for you to differentiate yourself with that.
And, I think one of the ways you've differentiated yourself is I always love hearing the unique ways that you get businesses involved, the unique ways that you have your relationships, like you were saying, the glasses with the coupons coming off. So what are some of the other unique ways that you got other businesses involved, whether it was an event and an event they were doing, or I see you kind of smiling as if something popped into your head of a bit like different ways to get these businesses and local events involved in what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I've realized, and as you're building your reputation and your brand, I would love for you guys to move away from being a real estate agent and becoming the community connector. So for me, people come to me because they know I'm a connector and I can help them with their business, at least connecting them with someone else that is a connector. And then I'm collaborating. I'm getting these people to collaborate. So I have an office, which Nick drives by or runs by every morning, and we created an event space. I have baby showers there. I have birthday dinners there. We have other businesses that host events there. I have a branding studio there. We've always tried to find ways that our business can include other businesses. It's just part of my big dreams, small budget, business strategy. I open it up to people. I let them use it. But if you don't have a space, I would say, you could do a couple things. Say, listen, I am a real estate agent. I'm growing my business. I'm going to have, 20 VIP clients every month come, and pizza's on me. They're going to come with the code or a coupon that I'm going to mail them. And at the end of the month, you bill me. Or I'll give an advance and you can, it can run, because I want to bring you business, but also I want to show them a little way of saying thank you. But I also want to help you, build this relationship as well. And I like your pizza too, so, hopefully we can do more stuff to collaborate. What do you think that business is going to say to you? You think they're going to give you a better price? Probably, because you're now ordering in volume. Right. Number two, they're going to probably post a picture, because if I do that, I'm going to tell my clients, hey, do me a favor, take a picture, make sure you tag the pizzeria and you tell Louie that you're my client or from my Forever Figueroa team client club. Now the social media presence, the borrowing of the audience is something that people are saying, wow, I want to go there for dinner now because my friend went there. They got pizza. How do I get on your pizza list too? My realtor doesn't buy me pizza every month. So it's just little things like that move the needle. It's really important. So we do a Forever Figueroa client club. And in that Forever Figueroa client club, we give away local business giveaways and gift cards. We sponsor it and we let the business know, hey, we're going to sponsor this to our clients. We just want to make sure that when our clients come, they get good service. And the reason we're, giving away your gift card to your place is because we eat here. We like it. We're big fans of you guys. We know you guys know a ton of realtors, so we're not trying to tell you to, use us if a buyer or seller is coming in, but we just want you to know that we're huge fans of your guys and we want to send our clients here. You notice that I didn't ask them for the business because I already know that they probably know a bunch of real estate agents, but they don't know me. They have never had a chance to be in business with me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring them business before I ask them for business. I'm going to be the one to help them be an advocate and an ambassador for them so they can in turn become one for me. So there are so many things you can do. Again, not knowing where everyone's located, not knowing what their, what their niche is. Someone asked about how many homes in my community. If you look it up, it's called Avalon Park. That was the community I lived in. I've since moved. That we were around about 10,000 homes, but my core area had about 3,500 homes. So my core farm was about 3,500 homes, but those events that they would do, they would get anywhere between 10 to 15,000 people that would come to the events. and they wanted to live in the community or on the outskirts. So we met that way. So I hope that answers that question in regards to how big the community was. And then as far as what we would do for the restaurants, I literally found restaurants that had the dingiest menus, or that, you know, just needed a little bit of something. And I'm like, hey, I'd love to sponsor this for you guys. Can I sponsor some, you know, napkins, or can I sponsor a menu, and can I sponsor this? And, you know, what was that $200-300 investment going to mean? They got new menus, they look classy, they look clean. And I just asked for a small little spot. Just a little small spot on the bottom or the back.
Yeah.
And it was just something that I had to find creative ways to make my dollars last and go as far as possible. And I can't tell you how much business we got out of that.
You know, I think that's one of the tough things about branding too, because like you said, you can't tell us how much business you got, but it's also sometimes tough to tell how much business you really got from doing some of these community events over the years, which I know is a reason why a lot of agents tend to give up on it. Because if the branding doesn't come right away, it's tough to be able to justify all the time, energy, and effort going into it. But, you know, I know.
Yeah. And when I say I can't tell you how much, it's like, it was more business than what I ever imagined, because we did track everything. And of course, we built our database. First few years, I didn't even know what that was. It was like paper. We're like paper. Now it's like, you know, no QR code, you know, we want to make sure easy. It's, you know, it's something that we can track, and then we can, of course, get them in our funnel, keep them in our funnel. That's where you know, Nick can help us with all that. And you're just constantly staying in contact with them. But it's a lot simpler than what we make it out to be. This is just a contact sport, guys. How many people can you talk to? How many people will know your name, will know you, connect with you, and trust you? That's all it is. It is that simple. Nick has one of his mentors, which is one of my mentors and coach, John Cheplek, says, listen, it's easy, but it's not, because we overcomplicate it, right? Simple solves the complex. Just keep it simple. And I can't begin to tell you how excited I am for you guys in this market that we're about to enter, because this is where the real rock stars thrive. This is where the real community leaders thrive. And you're going to see so many people give up, and I'm not wishing them bad at all, but I'm telling you, they were just never cut out to be in real estate. It was just too easy the last few years. It's going to shift. The person that controls the relationships, that dominates in their community, will thrive in the next few years.
You know, that's we have a saying, the difference between a contact and a contract is the letter R, the relationship that you have with them. You get better relationships, you'll get some of those contacts go into contracts. And, you know, something I know just from being around the atmosphere of the Figueroa team is the agreements that you have with your agents. You have this great brand, you have a presence, you're doing these events. What are some of those agreements that you have with your agents that help them take the branding, the marketing, the leads that you provide, and turn them into consistent business?
Yeah. So on our team, we run a really high performance team, guys. I am probably considered a little Nazi. I don't know. I mean, we're just like, I'm so militant when it comes to that. Like, this is how we do things on the Fig team. And there's no, like, you know, it's either you do it or you're off the team. Okay. And I don't want you guys to think that you have to do things my way. I'm just saying how I've been able to build a machine that has consistency is every listing gets promoted by the team. We share our listings. We have a Canva that is an enterprise account that, you know, they don't deviate from the branding. If you want to be in my world and you want to be on my team, that means you're embracing what we've built. You don't have to go and reinvent the wheel, because I built this over the last decade. I want to help you grow your business and you can use this as a springboard. And usually 1 or 2 years later, you can go and, you know, do this on your own if you feel good. Sometimes people get a little pep in their step and think they could do it 6 months later, and they call me back. Can I come back? But, you know, like we have consistency in our marketing. Every listing gets promoted the same way. Every buyer, every closing gets promoted the same way. Our agents share each other's successes as well. You could be a brand new agent on my team and start tomorrow and start posting just solds, because what happens on the team belongs to each agent on the team. That's how we have been able to scale this army. There's no ego on this team. It means your listing belongs to everybody. That closing belongs to everybody. In the sense of another listing, another amazing buyer served with the Figueroa team, you know? And it's just created that consistency, Nick, that has allowed us to leverage that for the agents to get more business. In addition to like the things like I zoomed in today. I said I was only going to do one Zoom while I was here, and I committed to Nick, but I lied. I did one extra one, which was I zoomed into our team potluck today. And in our potluck today, we talked about the pie giveaway. We do the corny real estate pie giveaway every year. It's not about the pie. It's about the phone call. It's not about the pie. It's about picking up the phone and calling them and saying, hey guys, we're super excited. Of course, what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? Of course, we give away a pie every year. We would love for you to come and pick it up, or you can send someone else to pick it up. Or if we're in the area, do you want us to drop it off? What flavor do you want? Or is there a charity or a shelter you'd like us to donate it on your behalf to? It's about the call. It has nothing to do with the pie. Those pies suck. They probably don't even pick them all up. We got to give them away. But it's about the call. And then it's, oh, and by the way, in the office, we are having a full showroom, and we're going to have for Christmas, we're going to have the Grinch, gold candy land drop. We're going to be doing professional photography for you guys to come, and we're going to gift the professional photography family shoots for you guys. It starts the last week of November, so you can get those Christmas cards out in time if that's, you know, what you celebrate. If not, just, you know, the season. What day would you like to come on by? It's the agents have all of this because we build this for them, and all they have to do is pick up the phone and call and invite people. And that is the power of what we've built that our agents get to leverage. It's not about whether they come to the photography. Our pictures are amazing, by the way. Our backdrop is amazing. You're going to see it all over social media. It's about the call. It's, what are you guys doing for this holiday season? I know things are a little funky right now. Not calling you about real estate, just calling to invite you. If we can help you save a couple dollars, especially with inflation right now, where people are being a little bit more frugal, like, come on, do professional photography with us. It's on us. So that is the stuff our agents leverage so that they can have more relationships and have more conversations.
I love that. You know, that's something that one of my mentors and someone in our group here always says, Mike Reese always says, the best inviter wins. Yeah. You know, I think it's the same thing like you were talking about with the branding and social media, where it's not always about real estate. When you call, it's not calling to say, hey, I know you said you were going to sell your home in about 2 more years. It's calling to invite them to the different types of community events and things that you're putting on. So guys, here's
the size of my team. I wanted to give them a little bit of clarity on that. I run a large team. My team is about 70 deep. That's including staff and agents. We run a roster of about 50 agents at a time. We're always recruiting for our team. My form of prospecting is showing my agents that if I'm not recruiting, it's okay for them not to prospect. So I always have to be on. I will out video my agents. I will out prospect my agents because I want to lead by example. So my team is always evolving and growing. And then we cut about 20% of our roster every 90 days if they're not meeting the standards, because we're extremely, we're intentional with our team. And if you're not doing the things that you need to do to be on our team, then we invite you to free up your future and be maybe a solo agent, and you can run your business how you want to run it. But if you want to be a part of our team where we invest in resources and do all these events, and then we expect a certain level of performance, because you said you were going to do it when you started. And if you're not doing what you said you were going to do, then of course we need to just find out where there's a misalignment, and then, you know, just recalibrate. But also the cost associated with an event just depends. For example, the holiday showroom is going to cost us about $1,500, but over the years we have a lot of stuff. I have a storage, so every year we just keep on getting extra stuff, and then I do a gift wrapping. I hire a gift wrapper to come and let people bring their toys in, sip mimosas, and so that'll cost us a little extra. But I always get sponsors, guys. Sponsors. I'm like the sponsorship queen when it comes to that, because I'm doing, what am I doing? I'm putting them in front of people, and then we're doing people together. So is sharing the expenses. So if you don't have a good sponsor, you know, get one.
Awesome, Veronica. We got one more question before we wrap this up. And guys, whoever invited you to this, make sure you reach out to them. They'll be able to get you the recording. And let me just ask you this, Veronica. We have one more question here. How do you get your agents on your team to participate and ensure that they do the work to make sure that they reach out?
Oh, interesting. Well, I'm going to break some news to you guys. You cannot make anyone be productive. You cannot make anyone be productive. But what you can do is facilitate an environment of productivity, an environment of standards, an environment of accountability. And you heard what I said, every 90 days, we cut 20% of our roster. If you want your agents to be productive, show them that you're willing to replace them with their competition. It's that simple. On my team, it's very, very simple. I'm never going to stop recruiting, because one day your replacement is going to walk in that door, because one day you might walk out my door. It's okay. I've come to terms with that. But I'm also wanting to recruit talent, because as new talent comes in, the team evolves, the team grows, because winners want to be around winners. And I'm always looking for great talent. So when I bring in great talent, I get better creatives, better marketers, better salespeople, better this, and then everybody else's skill set rises. Everybody else's skill set rises. Now, here's the thing. I don't force production. What I do is I lead with standards. I lead with standards and accountability. On our team, it's very simple. Either you did it or you didn't. What got in the way? How can we support you? Is this going to be an ongoing issue? What else can get in the way? Did you come to call night? Did you do your 1,600 points in follow-up boss so that you could stay on lead rotation? This is not a matter of, can I make them be productive? No. Can I create an environment that trains real estate agents to be great, which means they have to have the habits. Did they do the video text? Did they make their calls? Did they do their follow-up? If they didn't, then the next move I'm going to make is we're going to have a one-on-one. We're going to coach them. How long are we going to make it last? And then we decide what their future looks like on the team. Because I need to spend time with the agents who want to be productive. But you can't just say you want to be productive. Your habits have to match what your desired production is, right? So if you tell me you want to sell 30 homes a year, then your habits should match that. And I have agents who are 1 year in the business and they'll still in this current market sell 30, 40 homes this year. Guess what? You have to have 1,600 points on my database to get on lead rotation every month, every week. Guess how many they have? They don't stop at 1,600. They keep going. They have like 3,000, 2,500. They don't get extra bonus points. They don't get a prize from me for more points. But you know what they do? They get more closings. They get more money. They're developing the habits of a top producer. And they make sure their tasks are clean. That is what you do. You create an environment of accountability. So the 1,600 points is very simple. It's calls, text, length of the conversation, video, text messages sent, you making sure your tasks are updated, making sure that follow-up plans are set up for your clients. So these are things that we go in and we give a point system for within Follow-Up Boss. Whatever CRM you use, and you can create, I don't care if it's a spreadsheet, find something that if you're leading a team that you can hold them accountable. And if I'm losing you guys, I'm so sorry, because I can get really granular on this stuff. But accountability is so important. I love this question, because here's the thing. If you're an agent that's running your own business by yourself, or a team leader like the person who asked, who's holding you accountable? Do your habits match that of an agent who truly has a desire to be successful? Are you able to say, I don't do that. Yeah, no, I wake up, I snooze. Yep, I don't do that. And yeah, I don't even like do any of my tasks. So remember, you can't create an environment of, you can't force someone to be productive, but you can create an environment of productivity, which is why people come to us, because they say, we heard you're the team that helps people be productive. Yep. Like a little boot camp over here. But we're relentless and ruthless. If you don't make it, you're cut. Yeah. But it's with love. It's with love. So I hope that helps.
No, it definitely does. And to quote John Sheplack again, KFR, keep fucking recruiting at all times. Well, I'll tell you what, Veronica. I want to thank you so much, especially for taking time out of your trip to come on this Zoom and drop so much value to everybody here. Again, guys, if you guys want the recording, make sure you reach out to the person who invited you here. We do these every 2 weeks. Veronica, do you have any more closing remarks as we wrap up this Zoom here today?
Yeah. I think I see someone asking a bit about the point system, guys. The point system is on our end. I can actually send it over to Nick, and he can, I can actually send you the standards, and you can actually see everything that they get scored on. Would that be helpful?
Absolutely. I already saw Belladonna going, yes, let's get it. Yeah.
You literally can just follow it. You can tweak it, you can change it, but we measure also 4 important things on our team. It's compliance, culture, contribution, and community. Like, those are the things that help an agent stay on our team. Let's say maybe they're not the best closer, but they're putting the activities and they're doing everything in. We'll coach that person up a little bit more just because they're meeting all the other C's, right? Of course, conversion is important, right? So conversion is going to be necessary, but when you have the commitment and you're putting in the work, those are the things that we'll measure, because we know it's just a matter of time that you're going to pop off. It's just a matter of time. You got the right attitude, you got the right mindset, you got the right energy, you're doing the work. Actually, agents who have popped off too soon on our team develop really bad habits. It's the ones that had to kind of grind a little bit harder to appreciate the art of what it takes to be successful in this business, because you're not always going to have good days. You're not always going to have a win, right? You're not always going to have that, that unicorn day where everybody who answers says yes, right? That's not the reality of our business, but the consistency that you have in your business is what really separates, I think, the winners from the average. But I'll share that with you guys. It's our formula. I'm not saying you have to follow it to the T. I'm just use it for reference only. Don't go changing your team guidelines because Veronica said so. You got to do what feels authentic to your team. I don't want you telling me and saying, because of you, I lost my team. Don't go changing things, because this is an evolution. This has been something we've evolved into. I miss the days where we were a small team, that it was just 5, 6 of us being scrappy, but this does scale. It does scale, and it's pretty awesome. But as you are growing your business, and you're just leading yourself, the team of self, leverage, if you can look at that and also maybe measure what you're doing in your business, I hope that it will help you guys have even more productive 2023.
Guys, let's give it up for Veronica Figueroa for joining us here today. Veronica, thank you so much. I know, like you said, you didn't have a lot of Zoom schedule, but you did make it here for this one. So I just want to say I appreciate you so much for what you've done for our business, and adding value here to everybody else here today. Again, guys, if you guys want the recording, we're also going to send out a link. Veronica Figueroa just became a best-selling author as well. So we're going to be sending out the link to her book. You guys don't want to miss this. Make sure you catch that as well. You'll also be getting the sheet that she just referred to as well. So guys, make sure you keep a lookout for the person who invited you. Veronica, thank you so much. I'm really excited for just everything that you have going on. And it looks like I'll be stopping by the office here soon.
Yes, I love you so much, Nick. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for just being invited. And I actually, I don't mind that I stopped to do this, because I've been off for 6 days now. And if anybody knows me, I'm a workaholic. So this has been weird. So I feel at home right now, totally do a little bit of work and fun stuff. This is fun to me. So you guys have an amazing holiday, Thanksgiving. Go crush it. I am cheering for all of you guys, and you guys are the winners. So, mwah.
Awesome. We'll see you guys.